Welcome, architect of your destiny. In this quiet hour, your soul begins to rise. While the world sleeps, you rise to meet your true self. Tonight, we guide you deep into the Sageon Nation philosophy, a path to peace, clarity, and authentic power. All without religion, without dogma, without fear. This is more than a spiritual bedtime video. It is a map, a code, a blueprint for a new way of living. We invite you to explore a life grounded in joy, reason, compassion, and self-realization. A life where belief is no longer required, because you now awaken to truth itself. Neuroscience reminds us, what we hear as we sleep shapes what we become. Listening to positive, purposeful narratives at night can change perception, influence behavior, and even help rewire the subconscious mind. So let us walk with you through 5 transformative principles, each one a doorway to greater freedom, happiness, and personal success. This wisdom is drawn from the peace of Buddha, the fire of Rousseau, the logic of Spinoza, the clarity of the 5 percenters, and the fearless vision of the Sageon Nation. So relax, breathe in, let go, and fall into a peaceful yet enlightening sleep. Your journey toward the awakened self begins now. Principle 1. The sovereignty of the enlightened self. The first truth is simple, yet transformative. You are not here to obey. You are here to become. This is not a philosophy of rebellion. It is a philosophy of return, returning to the truth that has always lived within you, beneath the noise of your upbringing, institutions, and inherited fears. The enlightened self is the first principle because it is the root of all the others. Without self-awareness, there can be no liberation. Without sovereignty, there can be no peace. Buddha once said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." This is the foundation of your freedom, not granted by governments, not purchased through prayer, but awakened through remembrance. So to be enlightened is not to be perfect. It is to be conscious, aware, courageous enough to ask, what am I believing that is no longer true? Rousseau warned us, man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. However, most of these chains are invisible but mandated by the requirement to agree to the social contract blindly. They are the chains of conformity, of inherited guilt, of rituals that mean nothing to you but everything to the systems trying to control you. Unfortunately, the social contract includes clauses shrouded in confusing language, so your personal freedom continues to wane. In Sageon Nation, we do not simply study freedom, we live it. We teach that awakening is your birthright and that your only authority is your inner alignment. That alignment is not forged in temples or texts. It is found in silence. In the moments when you ask, honestly, who am I becoming? What do I truly value? It is in these quiet acts of inquiry that power is born. Power to say no to the pressures that want to shape you. Power to say yes to the truth that wants to rise within you. And this truth is not new. It is eternal. As the 5 percenters taught, divinity is not something you bow to. It is something you embody. Likewise, David Hume taught, reason is, and ought only to be, the slave of the passions. He understood that we are not machines. We are feeling beings, and only by honoring those passions consciously can we live in harmony with reason. So what does the enlightened self do? It listens, it reflects, it acts on truth, not tradition. You become the architect of your life by aligning your actions with your soul, not your surroundings. According to the United Nations World Happiness Report 2023, people who develop inner awareness and autonomy report higher resilience, stronger emotional regulation, and deeper satisfaction with life, regardless of material conditions. So tonight, either before or if you awaken from your sleep, begin that inner development. Put your hand on your chest, close your eyes, let your body soften, and repeat to yourself with quiet conviction, I am the architect of my becoming. I am sovereign. I am free. Not just words, but a ritual. Not just a ritual, but a remembering. And as the night deepens, let that remembering shape your dreams. Let it whisper to every cell in your body. You were never here to serve a system. You were born to rise. Let go of borrowed beliefs. Let go of inherited fear. Let go of everything that is not you. The enlightened self waits, and you are already on your way. Principle 2. Redefining success, inspired by the Four Noble Truths. Now we arrive at the second great truth. Peace is not a gift granted to the obedient, it is a state claimed by the awakened. Inner peace is not silence. It is not the absence of noise or struggle. It is the unwavering center within you that remains calm, even as the world trembles around you. As Lao Tzu once wrote, "At the center of your being you have the answer. You know who you are and you know what you want." This is not about escape. It is not about retreating from the world. Inner peace is the strength to remain whole within it. It is the knowing that nothing outside you can steal your worth. In Sageon Nation, we do not seek peace through control. We seek it through presence, through anchoring ourselves in this moment where all fear dissolves and all clarity begins. Psychologists agree mindfulness practices rooted in breathwork and reflection significantly reduce cortisol levels and increase feelings of well-being. According to a global meta-analysis conducted by the NIH and WHO, individuals who engaged in daily mindfulness experienced a 23% improvement in emotional resilience and a 35% decrease in anxiety symptoms. But even before science confirmed it, Buddha knew it. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. You are not here to beg the world for calm. You are here to generate it, to build it into your mornings, to carry it into your relationships, to exhale it into your day. So how do we practice inner peace? We begin by slowing down, by breathing in with awareness, by becoming intimate with silence, by refusing to chase the endless demands that only lead to exhaustion. We say no more often. We unplug. We say yes to boundaries. We protect our energy like it is sacred, because it is. We cultivate peace not by avoiding pain, but by facing it without fear. We sit with our discomfort. We listen to our shadows. We ask, "What are you here to teach me?" And then we listen without judgment. The Dalai Lama reminds us, do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. In Sageon Nation, we replace reaction with reflection. We choose pauses over panic. We learn to hear life not as a threat, but as a teacher. Each time you center yourself, you build resilience. Each breath you take with intention becomes a prayer, not to a God in the sky, but to the strength already living inside you. So tonight, as your breath slows and your thoughts drift like clouds, repeat this. I release the noise of the world. I return to the stillness within. I am peace. This is not hypnosis. This is homecoming. Let your nervous system reset. Let your spirit exhale. Peace is not something you seek. It is something you remember. And tonight, you remember. Principle 3. Cherishing genuine happiness. Now we arrive at the third truth, the golden center of Sageon Nation, cherishing genuine happiness. Not the kind marketed to you. Not the synthetic spikes of dopamine from social media, fast pleasures, or approval from others, but true happiness, the kind that warms you gently, the kind that lingers when the world goes quiet. Buddha said, happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. And this truth reveals something powerful. Happiness is not a treasure to find. It is a way of seeing. In Sageon Nation, we treat joy as sacred. It is not a reward for good behavior. It is not a status symbol. It is a birthright. You were born to feel joy, to notice it, to protect it, to grow it. But the world teaches you to chase instead, to chase money, beauty, likes, control, all while convincing you that joy is something that comes after you prove your worth. This principle invites you to unlearn that lie. Real joy is not performative, it is quiet. Real joy does not need to be seen to be true. Matthieu Ricard, Buddhist monk and molecular biologist, described happiness not as a condition, but as a skill. He said happiness is a deep sense of flourishing that arises from an exceptionally healthy mind. And like any skill, happiness can be practiced, refined, deepened. Also, according to the UN's 2023 World Happiness Report, people who focus on gratitude, mindfulness, and meaning-driven relationships experience the most stable long-term happiness, regardless of income or social status. This means happiness is democratic. It is inclusive. It belongs to you. So how do we practice it? We return to the simple moments. We give thanks not just for milestones, but for mornings, for meals, for music, for the breath you are taking right now. Joy grows where attention goes. Noticing one beautiful thing, even a leaf dancing in the breeze, teaches your mind that the world is not only pain, it is also light. Try this tonight. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe deeply. Recall one moment from your day that made you smile, even for a second. A kind word, a good stretch, the way the sun hit your window. Now whisper to yourself, that was real, that was mine, that was enough. This is how you begin to reclaim joy from the systems that monetize your attention. This is how you disentangle your spirit from algorithms and fear. You see, happiness is not something you wait for, it's something you make room for. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. The warm water in your shower, the sound of a loved one's laugh, the fact that you made it through another day. Let joy become a ritual, not a reaction. And remember, joy is not a luxury, it is your fuel. It strengthens your immune system, improves sleep, sharpens focus, and attracts better relationships. Science proves it, your body proves it. So tonight, as your eyes grow heavy and your heart softens, repeat this. My joy is sacred. I protect it. I welcome it. I rise with it. And know this, you are not foolish for choosing joy in a chaotic world. You are wise. You are not selfish for choosing peace. You are awake. You are not weak for embracing stillness. You are strong. Let go of guilt. Let go of pressure. Let go of the idea that you must suffer to deserve rest. You deserve joy now. You are allowed to smile now. Even in your sleep, you can rise with happiness in your soul, because your happiness is holy. Principle 4. Living authentically.
You were not born to perform. You were born to express.
Tonight we enter the 4th truth of the Sageon Nation blueprint. Living authentically. The radical act of choosing your inner guidance over outer expectation. To live authentically is to live in truth, even when that truth makes others uncomfortable. It is to walk your path, not the one paved by tradition, by fear, or by performance. For too long, we've been told who we must be: the obedient child, the dutiful spouse, the quiet follower. And each time we perform for others, a small part of our truth is left behind. As Brené Brown wisely said, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. This is not a call for selfishness. This is a call for sacred honesty. To live authentically is to bring your values, voice, and actions into alignment. It is to speak when your soul stirs, to rest when your body aches, to honor your truth even when no one applauds. Spinoza, the philosopher of clarity, reminds us, the more clearly you understand yourself and your emotions, the more you become a lover of what is. So real freedom is not found in the absence of restriction. It is found in the presence of self-understanding. Moreover, authenticity is not rebellion for rebellion's sake. It is clarity. It is calm. It is confidence born of self-respect. It is choosing to shed the masks, not because you hate the world, but because you finally love yourself enough to stop hiding. The UN's Mental Health and Human Rights Report 2022 highlights that lack of self-expression is directly tied to increased anxiety, depression, and emotional fatigue, especially in marginalized communities pressured to conform. To live inauthentically is not just a compromise, it is a wound. And healing begins with honesty. So ask yourself tonight, where have I been performing? Where have I been shrinking? Where have I traded approval for peace? Now imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning. You choose your clothes, your words, your energy, not to impress, but to express. You trust your intuition. You trust your voice. You trust that you are not too much. You are just enough. And you no longer ask permission to be real. We invite you to begin writing your own manifesto. 1 sentence, then 5, then 1 full page. Ask yourself, who am I when no one is watching? What values live inside me that I've been silencing? As you drift into sleep, repeat these affirmations like prayers. I am safe in my truth. I am whole when I am honest. I do not exist to perform, I exist to be. And let this be your vow tonight, to honor your voice, to trust your path, to love your reflection, because your authenticity is not a liability. It is your superpower. Let it guide your rest. Let it color your dreams. Let it rebuild the bridge between your inner life and your outer world. You do not need to become someone else to be loved. You only need to become fully yourself. Principle 5. Becoming your own God. You've journeyed through self-awareness, through inner peace, through the joy of presence, and through the courage of truth. Now we arrive at the fifth and final truth, the summit, becoming your own God. Not in arrogance, not in fantasy, but in sacred responsibility. This is the highest aspiration of the Sageon Nation path, to awaken to your full human potential, to embody the divine not by worship, but by action. As Buddha said, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. And the fire of that life is already within you. To become your own God is not to dominate, it is to elevate. It is to become a light in your own life and a beacon in the lives of others. The 5 percenters remind us, each man is God of his own universe. This is not ego, this is essence. This is about walking with sacred purpose, recognizing that your choices create worlds. Godlike enlightenment begins when you stop looking up and start looking within. Every time you choose love over fear, compassion over cruelty, and wisdom over conformity, you rise. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." And this is the essence of divinity, not belief, but becoming. You become divine by practicing silence in a noisy world, choosing integrity when no one is watching, lifting others not with sermons, but with your presence. The Manichaeans saw life as a sacred battle between light and darkness, and Sageon Nation invites you to stand daily in the light, to reflect, to act, to elevate, not through ritual, not through dogma, but through conscious living. Science echoes this truth. According to the Global Institute for Human Flourishing, people who live with a sense of purpose and internal moral compass show dramatically higher levels of resilience, life satisfaction, and even physical health. You do not need to die to become divine. You do not need to suffer to earn salvation. You are not a follower. You are not a believer. You are an embodiment, a mirror of the universe, a spark of cosmic intelligence, a sovereign soul waking up to its power. So tonight, leave behind the fear that you are unworthy. Let go of inherited guilt. Let go of smallness. Fall asleep with this affirmation, a prayerless prayer whispered by your highest self. I rise in light. I speak with wisdom. I love with depth. I leave no one behind. You were not created to wait for the afterlife. You were created to rise now. With every breath, you become more of who you are destined to be. Truthful, peaceful, joyful, free. This is the Sageon Nation way. Stay wise, stay sovereign, and keep seeking the light. Welcome to part 2. So enlightenment is not just a state of mind, it is also shaped by your environment. After walking the Sageon path inward, many of us feel the quiet nudge to ask, where can I truly thrive? That's why we've created this special bonus video, choosing an enlightened place to live, find your sanctuary. Your surroundings either nourish your growth or slowly diminish it. The noise, pace, and pressure of modern life can make it hard to hear your own soul. But there are places, quiet corners of the world, peaceful neighborhoods, sovereign communities, where your peace is protected and your joy is honored. This is not about running away. It's about intentionally placing yourself where your spirit can rise. In this bonus session, we'll explore how to recognize when your environment is working against your enlightenment, the key traits of communities that align with Sageon values, authenticity, compassion, wisdom, and sovereignty, questions to ask yourself when choosing where to live, heal, and expand, why your home, physical and energetic, should be your sanctuary, not your battlefield. Buddha found clarity under a tree. Spinoza found peace in nature. You too deserve a place where your soul is not merely surviving, but shining. So join us in this extended reflection. Let's find your sanctuary. Let's choose a space that mirrors your evolution. Let's imagine a life where your environment whispers, "You belong, you are safe, you are free to grow." Your path doesn't end here. It expands into where you live, who surrounds you, and how you move through the world. So here it is. Let your sanctuary begin. And now, dear traveler of the inner world, as your body sinks deeper into a state of rest, your soul continues its sacred walk. You've stepped with courage into the path of enlightenment, within your heart, your thoughts, and your daily actions. But tonight, consider expanding that inner harmony into the outer world. Imagine aligning your external environment with your elevated state of being. What if your home could be your sanctuary? What if the land beneath your feet, the air around you, and the people beside you all reflected your highest truth? Let your subconscious drift gently into this invitation. You are not only shaped by the thoughts you think, you are deeply influenced by the space you inhabit, the rhythm of the community around you, and the energy of your surroundings. The World Health Organization, in a global report on well-being, affirms that environmental harmony significantly contributes to emotional stability, resilience, and spiritual growth. So tonight, we softly plant this seed. Choosing where you live is choosing who you become. Let your inner eye open. Picture places that nourish your soul. You might imagine a quiet coastal village where the ocean's breath calms your mind, or perhaps a mountaintop retreat where the stars reveal themselves each night. Maybe even a creative city full of life, diversity, music, and movement. Your home is more than a roof. It is your mirror. It is the soil where your dreams grow or wither. Let us gently explore how the Sageon principles can guide you toward an enlightened environment. To begin, take time to evaluate your deepest needs and values. Reflect gently. What do you truly need in a home to feel whole and grounded? Consider elements such as closeness to nature, emotional safety, cultural alignment, and freedom of expression. Embracing mindfulness and journaling during this reflection can help uncover your soul's hidden desires. In fact, environmental psychology research reveals that a setting aligned with your values dramatically enhances peace and emotional well-being. One city that reflects this harmony is Copenhagen, Denmark, a place where eco-conscious design and social cohesion meet, supporting daily mindfulness and holistic wellness. Next, consider the impact you'll have on the community around you. How can your presence uplift those around you? Seek spaces that invite connection, shared growth, and mutual care. Choose places where local initiatives welcome your participation and where your energy contributes to collective well-being. Numerous studies have shown that civic engagement boosts not only personal happiness but also communal healing. Portland, Oregon serves as a powerful example, where creative activism and environmental responsibility form a vibrant ecosystem of purpose. Then seek environments that offer abundant opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. Whether through access to cultural experiences, healing sanctuaries, educational spaces, or spiritual gatherings, ensure that your surroundings nourish your lifelong journey. Reflective journaling is an excellent tool to assess whether your environment supports or stifles your evolution. As highlighted in the Journal of Environmental Psychology, environments that foster curiosity and expression naturally cultivate empowerment. Consider Melbourne, Australia, where art, culture, and multiculturalism dance through public spaces, offering fertile ground for expansion. Following that, prioritize serenity through natural beauty. Let landscapes speak to your heart. Seek out places where trees whisper wisdom, mountains stand as guides, and lakes reflect your calm. Choose areas where nature is not hidden but honored. Stillness is not found in isolation, it is born from reverence. Pokhara, Nepal, cradled by the Himalayas, embodies this serenity. Here, peace is not chased, it is inhaled. Afterward, allow your soul to be fed by deep cultural richness. Choose places alive with story, where traditions, languages, music, and food create a rich tapestry of meaning. Such environments enhance both knowledge and compassion. In a city like Hanoi, Vietnam, ancient grace and modern energy coexist. Walking its streets becomes a form of spiritual immersion, a heart-to-heart conversation with the past and present. Finally, lean into cities where community is not a concept, but a culture. Seek places where belonging is woven into daily life. Wellness should not be a privilege. It should be part of the air. Cape Town, South Africa, pulses with this spirit, where resilience, beauty, and shared identity form a vibrant collective heartbeat. By considering these soul-guided insights, you will come to see that choosing where to live is more than a decision. It is a declaration, a sacred act of honoring who you are and who you are becoming. At Sageon Nation, we believe that your environment should support your sovereignty, elevate your consciousness, and reflect your inner light. As you sleep, let this truth take root. I am drawn to land that loves my light. I do not settle, I align. My environment reflects my evolution. Your sanctuary already exists, and as your soul expands, you'll find it. So, until next time, stay wise and keep seeking the light. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more insights on living an enlightened life. What's your next step on your journey? Share it in the comments. We're here to support each other.